Hi folks, and welcome to this week's edition of All About Real Estate. I'm Gary Hennessy from Professionals at Reynella, and as you remember last week we talked about the conveyancer. You've bought the property, you've got the paperwork done, and one of the things in the contract is a little clause which says that the property is at the risk of the purchaser from the date of the contract. Now, little tip for everyone here. It's not from the end of the cooling off period, it is actually from the time that the contract is completed. So you have an insurable risk from the time that that contract is signed by yourselves and by the seller. Now, we're going to talk about insurance this week, and I'd like to introduce a friend of mine from the Payne Group. Hi Asha, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Come on in here.
Thank you.
Now, Payne, P-A-Y-N-E, the Payne Group, and Asha, I mentioned about the insurance on the house, but quite often people overlook the fact that they've just taken on a really big mortgage and they don't even think that maybe we should do something about covering that mortgage. We don't want things to happen, but should something happen?
Yeah, exactly. I guess you need to think with people that they're also their biggest asset as well. They've purchased their sort of biggest expense in their house, but they also need to consider how they're going to protect that house if something were to happen to them through illness or injury or unfortunately the passing of one of the owners.
And look, we don't, you know, it's one of these touchy subjects, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't wish it on anyone, but I was telling you earlier, we had an experience where we had a client who purchased a property, moved into this beautiful home, and 3 days later one of the partners actually passed away, which is very, very sad. And should that happen, the other partner is actually left with quite a large debt, aren't they?
Yeah,
if they're not covered.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess it's also the fact that, you were having two people that were paying the mortgage and you're now down to one person. So it's the ongoing expenses, things that you might have been doing before, like tennis lessons or dance lessons, they might have to be foregone so that someone can just concentrate on paying the mortgage.
So, because your whole life is, you know, so as well as the stress of losing your partner, you've also got all these financial stresses.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned to me earlier also that what people don't think about is replacing their income if they get sort of seriously injured and can't work for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. You've got what's called income protection, where if something would happen to someone due to illness or injury, they can actually have 75% of that income replaced by having an income protection policy in place. So at least that way you've still got ongoing bills and ongoing mortgage repayments coming in if something happens to someone, but you can still continue for those to be paid.
Insurance is not a favourite topic with people, is it?
No, it isn't.
But without it, a lot of people would be really left in the lurch should something go wrong. And as we said earlier, we don't wish it on anyone, but sometimes bad things do happen to really good people. So, all right, Asha, really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming to see us this week.
No worries.
And
thank you.
We'll catch up. That's it for this week. Next week we'll be looking at another facet of real estate, and so please join us next week on All About Real Estate.